Coming at you full-fledged, it's your boy Regg, with another video for y'all, man. Welcome, YouTube. Coming straight in, hit that like button, man. Comment at the beginning, middle, and ending of the video. Share for others to see. Subscribe if you're new, and of course, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop. And let's get straight into it, man. So, I was going to read an article on this situation, but I think time is past enough for you all to know what's going on. So, I'm going to put a link to the article, the main topic surrounding this video, in the description, because that's going to make this video significantly shorter. I mean, it's going to be quite extensive anyway, but I'm just trying to make stuff as concise as possible. Y'all should know what's going on by now if you're a subscriber to the channel. So, I just want to say, before I get into this, excuse me for the picture of this video if you're disturbed. I understand it's quite disturbing. But let me get straight into the meat and the bones, or whatever the meat and the potatoes, if you will. So I watched Adam Silver's press conference not too long ago about this whole Robert Sarver situation, and let me say this first. Congratulations to the real journalists out there for putting him under the fire with the questions they asked. And because, you know, some journalists, they wanna toe the company line. They wanna not make enemies. Man, that's not what journalism is. It's about objectivity. It's about getting to the nitty-gritty. And that's what them journalists did with asking them questions. They made them look terrible. And congratulations for y'all for keeping y'all integrity and not letting nothing compromise that. Most importantly, though, that press conference was one of the many reasons I made the assertion I made in my thumbnail. But before we get deeper into that topic, I have to display the history surrounding Mr. Silver to identify the correlation and the causation of this topic. So, Mr. Silver was named commissioner of the NBA back in February 2014, taking over from the late David Stern, who served himself 30 years at the position starting back in 1984. And shortly after, 2 months to be exact, 2 months after being named NBA commissioner, national news broke surrounding former LA Clipper owner Donald Sterling. Now, if you don't know about that topic, you would have to do your own research because you're literally 10 years behind. So we're not going to get into detail into that, but Donald Sterling, that should already pop up a situation in your brain. So we're going to leave that there. Being a newly named leader of men, this would be Silver's first chance to ingratiate himself with the players. Now, ultimately, Sterling was banned from the league and forced to sell the Clippers. This resulted in the newly named commissioner, being recognized as a quote-unquote man of the people. Now, throughout his 30 years as commissioner, Stern was infamous for being no nonsense. And I'm going to give y'all some examples of this. Throughout his 30 years, these happened in specific different times. So I just want to give y'all some examples. First, he blackballed Chris Jackson, a.k.a. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, after playing only 9 seasons in the league for openly and uncompromisingly adhering to his religious beliefs. Now, I just want to give y'all some cliff notes about that. He was a Muslim, and he was in the league for a while, and he would not, acknowledge the national anthem while it was playing. He would pray, and you had certain fans out there. You got certain fans. Certain fans think you owe them something, so they had their own reservations about it. NBA players had their own reservations about it, supporting the league, like Akeem Olajuwon, who himself was a Muslim, but who asserted that you still got to respect the flag. So I get both sides, but that was really a very harsh way to deal with the situation, because, companies, corporations, they love to use their policy thing about you. They love to say diversity and we all have equal opportunity, but that's only to protect the company. So he would not adhere to these requests. Then they would turn into demands, because rules would be established that basically said, hey, you got to do this, or if not, you will be facing consequences. So a time came where Jackson, aka Abdul Rauf, will be traded to no man's land at that time, the Sacramento Kings. He would play there for 2 seasons, and as the seasons went by, he would get less and less minutes. He got DNPs. He was an all-star. Some people say that he was the Steph Curry before Steph Curry, and he was just, he was in no man's land. Then after that, he ended up retiring from the league in 1998, going overseas. Eventually, a couple years later, I think around the early 2000s, he would be allowed back into the league, but at this time, no league in the United States wanted him, so he was signed to the Vancouver Grizzlies. So basically, his career was ruined because of his stance and his uncompromising stance. And looking now, if you that sounds like something more similar to what's going on today, but what's going on today in that situation with that particular person was not genuine at all, and we don't even know the origins of this person to claim what his stance were genuine. And I'm talking about Colin Kaepernick. I don't want to go off into a tangent, but he claims that his stance was to stand up for police brutality, but then he ended up signing a contract which basically confirmed that he didn't even want to play football. He just wanted the money. He claims to be quote-unquote black, yet we've never seen his father. This man can be Arab for all I know, fake it to be a black person, quote-unquote black person. He came to a workout in a damn costume and a damn Kuta Kinte jersey. He's basically a cartoon character from Nike. From BLM, from the Democratic Party, but people like to conflate those two situations, which I don't agree with at all, because that just shows people that they don't pay attention. They don't do their own research, and they just digest whatever is given out to them. But anyway, that happened. And Stern would also continuously punish Dennis Rodman for being himself. Now, at that time, tattoos really weren't as prominent as they are today. And in the U.S., some still saw a 6'10" eccentric black man with tattoos as alien. And Rodman didn't embrace the quote-unquote thug persona. But he was an agent of chaos. He was an agent of chaos for sure in his own way. But Luckily for himself, he was on a winning team. One of the winningest teams of all time. One of the greatest dynasties of all time. He was a part of the second three-peat in the 90s for the Chicago Bulls, 1995 to 1998. And after that, his stardom led him to opportunities out of the league, causing him to retire in the late 90s. So, while Stern let it be known that he wasn't going for the shit that Rodman was doing, Rodman didn't care. And he still did. He still did what he wanted to do and succeeded in spite of it. And he ended up leaving anyway. So, I guess that was he was happy that Rodman was out at the time he did leave. But shortly after Rodman would leave, another problem developed. As he was, Stern was also the driving force behind Allen Iverson not having a proper retirement from the NBA. But unlike Rodman, Iverson was in the ages of chaos that did push the quote-unquote thug culture throughout the league. Now, in my opinion, Allen Iverson, one of my top 5 favorite players to watch. He was one of my... I'm not going to lie. In high school, which sound crazy because he wasn't even playing, but, you know, we like to learn. You know, ain't nothing wrong with learning. You can learn late. You learn every day. But in high school, I was a fanboy of Allen Iverson. That's why I bought some questions. I bought some questions in 2015. I got to still to this day. And y'all can go back and watch my video of me reviewing my answers that I just got, not my answer forwards that I just got not too long ago. That is the motivating factor behind me having these shoes. But I would realize that Allen Iverson's legacy, I mean, as a player, it's cemented. He's a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest scorers, one of the only outside of Wilt and Michael Jordan, the most scoring titles, four-way tie between George Gervin, KD, and James Harden. Greatest scorers. But I find him to be quite overrated because of the stuff he did off the court. Because, yeah, yes, Iverson was influential. But we have to ask ourselves, was it a good influence or was it a bad influence? And like I said, ultimately, really all he did was be the main perpetuator of thug culture throughout the NBA. Yeah, like, black people had swag. I'm not giving him credit for making people dress up a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be real, shout out to my boy Chronicles of Judah 144. If you really want to look at like the cause and the effect of things, the cause of Allen Iverson dressing that way is really the effect of how people dress today. It's really just two extremes. You got people dressing hella. I mean, I'm not gonna shit on the way people dressed back then too much because my parents dressed me that way. But looking back, it's kind of like, okay, we get it. Like it was over the top, like the hella baggy shirts and pants, bandanas, and like it's just not. Come on, bro. We supposed to be looking at as professional. You don't gotta dress like James Bond or nothing, but come on, don't dress like you finna go on the block and sell a brick where you just came out of damn Clemson University or some shit. You feel me? So now we got people dressing extra fucking spicy. You know what I'm saying? So it's hella extremes. It's not in the middle like it used to be. People used to come up wearing suits, bro. Michael Jordan, contrary to popular belief, he used to be one of the best dressed people in the NBA or in the world. But now he don't care no more. He don't even care no more because the shit he be wearing I don't know what he be wearing, but yeah, man. Like I think it's just the reflection of two extremes. You feel me? It's hella okay. okay, it's hella liberal on both sides, man. Like, who want to wear a damn nightgown, t-shirt, and a damn big and tall jeans or some damn, the shit Russell Westbrook be wearing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I just wanted to express why I felt this way, because Allen Iverson, in some ways he was his own worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Iverson was one of the main money draws of the early to mid 2000s. So Sturr gave him the benefit of the doubt on doing some of the stuff he was doing. DUIs, shootouts. I ain't trying to make this an Allen Iverson video, but he gave him the benefit of the doubt, and to an extent. He won league MVP, scoring titles, steals, championships, finals runs. Come on now. But as his career went on, the behavior continued as he got older. And the league was trying to change, because that would ultimately leave a stain on the league, man. People were following him too much, and it became too, I'm not going to say too cool, quote unquote, black, because the league been primarily black since damn near Bill Russell. I'm not going to say that. It got too thuggish. And that might seem derogatory, but that's what it was. It got too thuggish, man. After Michael Jordan, come on now, we seen a change. In viewership. Then it got too thuggish. You know what I'm saying? Got too defensive. Too many people wanted to play like Michael Jordan, but weren't as efficient. Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, Vince Carter, etc. But then in the mid 2000s, because of this, the league tried to push to make several Caucasian superstars. Dirk Nowitzki, winning the MVP back in 2007. Steve Nash, controversially winning back-to-back MVPs from 2005 to 2006. So that was the reason for all that. And as the league was changing again, and as Iverson was getting older, he was not changing. So ultimately, a time came where AI did not want to come off the bench. He still wanted to start. And his production was not conducive to a winning championship team at that time starting. So no teams would sign him, and he would never get a proper retirement. Now, if that reminds you of anything, that can remind you of one player today, and that's Mr. Russell Westbrook. So hopefully his career don't end that way, because it actually probably won't, because it might just this might be his last year. This is his last contract. He's making $47 million this year. So we will see. Time will tell on that. But my point of me giving those examples was to show that the difference between a quote unquote conservative leader or simply a man with a backbone, some balls, versus a figurehead that's going to appease his way to fulfilling momentary objectives. To add to that, the whole appease his way to fulfill momentary objectives. To add to that, Donald Sterling really didn't come out that whole situation a loser. Because if y'all remember, look it up. You can still look it up right now. Sterling sold the Los Angeles Clippers for billions of dollars. And it was not worth billions of dollars in 2014. So that just goes to show you how these people really still get away with stuff. He was forced to sell the team, but he made a profit selling the team. So we just gonna leave that there. Again, Silver handling that whole Donald Sterling situation was a way in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, that was a way for him to sell that he was a leader, quote unquote, of the people. When the reality is, he's for the owners. He's for owners. He's for owners. He's for advertisers. He's pro advertisers. He's pro owner. He's pro the small percent of players that can retire tomorrow just based off what they make off the court. He's pro max players. He's anti-fan. He's anti-viewer. He's pro-profit. You know what I'm saying? And the league has not gotten better in any aspect because of it. Now, I'm going to give y'all some examples of what Stern accomplished during his tenure as commissioner. Stern made the league go global. He went from Magic to Bird in the 80s, which it was national. He took that Michael Jordan train. I'm not going to give him sole credit, but he was a big contributor to the changing of sneaker culture. He branded Michael Jordan perfectly to make the world, to show y'all what a real superstar is. And he wasn't a center. He was a guard. He was one of the driving sources behind the Dream Team. Still one of probably the greatest Olympic basketball teams in the United States history. He did all of that. He made TV deals. Live TV, NBA on NBC, like all that. Like, come on now, all the stuff to this point that Silver inherited. But right now, what did Silver do? Silver has added again. He's added ad logos to jerseys. What does that add? What does me seeing PayPal on a Suns jersey? What does that contribute? Oh, you want me to go use PayPal? You want me to go use Wish? You want me to go use Wish? Nobody uses Wish. They use Amazon. They still use eBay to an extent. I've never used eBay. Who uses Wish? The only people I've seen use Wish, they've gotten scammed. So there's no reason to have ads on jerseys, in my opinion. There's no reason for that. He's eliminating the incentive to win in the regular season by adding play-in tournaments. Now, I'm not going to act like I'm 100% against it. I mean, it was exciting. It was exciting the first year with the Warriors and the Grizzlies and the Warriors and the Lakers, but this here, so you basically telling me the 7th and 8th seeds earned their way in the playoffs and they still got to earn their way into the playoffs. Like, again, what's the incentive to win? You're rewarding losing. Like, which is just a reflection of this everybody gets a trophy society, man. Sports is a reflection of society, and that play-in tournament, bro, that's not it, bro. That's not it. Teams supposed to be getting better, but now they're getting a shortcut to the playoffs. Like, I'd be mad if I was the 6th through 8th, the 7th to 8th seed. We worked hard. Maybe something happened, injuries, but maybe we had a push at the end of the season and we still can't make the playoffs because we still got a chance to miss the playoffs because of this damn play-in tournament. We lose 2 games, we out. And I would be upset if I was the upper seeds, the 1 through 3. Who are we facing? I need to know now. I don't want to wait. Like, it really don't make sense, man. To add to that, so much money is being made from these players, from role players, Role players getting $80 million deals. Luke Kennard, for example. I'm a Clippers fan, but Luke Kennard, you the first person that came to my mind. You recently just signed I think it was like a 3-year, $80 million contract. You were great. You great at what you do. Spot up shooter. The best three-point shooter last season. But you this is nothing personal against you. I'm just using you as an example. But so many players are making so much money, but nobody's watching the product. Its ratings are at an all-time low. It's lower than it was in the 70s. And there was no superstar. There was no face of the league. No black face. Kareem didn't want to be the face. Kareem didn't want to be the face of the league. He was the best player. He didn't want to be the face. Then you had John Havlicek ultimately retired. I think it was like 79. He was one of the last quote-unquote white superstars, Caucasian superstars. You had Bill Walton for a little minute, for a little spell. That was the most. Also, that was the era with the most parity. The 70s is low key so slept on because that was the most. That was the most competitive era in the league. You had only two teams in the 70s won. Only two organizations in the 70s won 2 championships, and that was the Celtics and the Knicks. And none of them were back to back. It was in between. It was every other year. For the Knicks, it was 70 and 72, and for the Celtics, it was 74 and 76. But yeah, even back then, and nobody was watching then, and they had a reason. Well, it really wasn't no TV deals like that. Again, no superstars, no black superstars, no white superstars, parity, no dynasties. But now, you got TV deals, you got streaming, you got super team, like nobody watching, and people making more money. That economically don't make sense. That's just bad business. That's like saying, I'm a manager of a Taco Bell, right? I'm a manager of Taco Bell for St. Louisans. I'm a manager of a Taco Bell in a loop, right? Nobody coming to this loop as this $2 million piece of crap trolley is being built. Nobody's coming to our store, but somehow I'm giving everybody $5 pay raises. We finna close even sooner than we thought. That don't make sense, right? To add to that, Sterling didn't come out. Oh yeah, I just said this. Sterling didn't come out. I just said that. But tampering. Players just, you know, players are colluding to go to certain teams. We seen it. We seen it with LeBron James. We seen it with Kevin Durant. Them the biggest examples, but we seen it even to a lesser extent. We seen it with somebody just got. It's so many players getting fined for that shit, man. Tampering. We've never seen tampering this bad. We never seen tampering this bad. Of course, teams wanted certain players, but we never seen it this blatant. This player movement, this player empowerment, which really low-key sound like socialism if you really want to. This player empowerment, this worker over employer mindset, like it's not beneficial. It's not beneficial to business. It don't make sense. And it's resulting in entitlement from not only the players. It's forcing this psychology on the viewer, which they think they this pseudo GM and they just want to be agents for players and make the best scenario for the players, which somehow is supposed to give the best scenario to the viewer. Like, don't. Again, this is a societal issue too, but yeah. Players got too much power. I'm not going to say low management to an extent, but players just sitting out of games. CJ McCollum recently said something about this. He was one first only players to say this. And it's kind of obvious league team doctors, they want these players to sit out because they're investments. They making so much money, they don't want to get them hurt. They taking risks. They taking they sitting out games, high risk games, quote unquote. Like, come on, man, y'all messing up the integrity of the game. But we got to find a happy medium, like McCollum said. Forcing trades while you still under contract. You got 4 years. You got 4 years left. Like KD, you're forcing a trade. You're gaining weight and you're playing bad intentionally for them to get you out of there after they did everything to get you the best chances to win a championship. And you show that level of appreciation and entitlement, like a James Harden. You know what I'm saying? You calling all kind of chaos in the route to get one championship in 4 years. 70+ trades and shit. Like LeBron James. You driving your owner crazy. You're the owner of the team saying that championship run was probably one of the worst experiences of my life. And Dan Gilbert. You know what I'm saying? These are just examples. Super teams. The Miami Heat. No way. 3 franchise players in their prime should be joining up. No way. No way. League MVP who was just up 3-1 against a 73-9 team should go to that team damn near 4 months later. A couple months later. David Stern would have put a veto on there. You see what he did with just Chris Paul and Kobe? That wouldn't even have been a super team. That would have been a dynamic duo that definitely would have won at least one championship. But the Lakers' time was over. Y'all had the 2000s. Y'all had the late 2000s. It was LeBron time. But even then, he couldn't get one player after the turmoil the Lakers went through in the mid 2000s before they became a championship team and got Phil Jackson back. He couldn't get one. He couldn't get Chris Paul. Chris Paul ended up going to the Clippers anyway, but you know what I'm saying? Like, look what's going on. Look at the what's the word? The conjecture. If that's the right term. But as a result of all this, players now feel, like I said, he's pro owner, he's pro advertisers, he's pro max players, he's pro those people. But players specifically now feel indebted to him. So that is why when it's time to speak up, in this case specifically, where you have a clear, unabashed racist, sexist, and all around inappropriate owner in the workplace, they have to follow behind Silver's lead first because he's done so much for them. Now, with advertisers like PayPal, who again sponsor the Phoenix Suns, threatening to cut ties with the team if Sarver isn't removed from the league, watch people start to speak up. Not because of the terrible behavior and the people that's being affected, but because of the possibility of them losing money. That's what's going to make them speak up. That's why you got LeBron James. I give him credit to an extent, but he didn't want to say that. He had to say that. He had to say that because he knew, as the face of the league, not saying nothing about it, that's coming straight to you. And I kind of give him responsibility for that. Because, yes, you are the face of the league. You try to push yourself as the quote-unquote Muhammad Ali of the NBA, which I've heard Max Kellerman and other people on these big sports networks call you once before. So we're going to hold you up to that standard because that's what you want to be. You had to say that, though. You didn't want to say that. Adam Silver done so much for you, you had to go against him now. So I'm going to give you partial credit because you're the only one that said something about it. Reality, the only NBA player, you the face of the league, which you should, but you were the only people to say something about it. But same thing applies to the media, man. I haven't heard one the whole time, this whole 8 years of Adam Silver being commissioner. I haven't heard one real pundit, journalist, or whatever, make a real assessment on the job that Silver has done in this near decade of holding that position. I mean, the dude gotta have the greatest job security in the world, man. He's built this bubble, pun intended, of wokeness, quote unquote, around himself. He's built this bubble of wokeness around himself. Now, in the result of that, nobody can criticize him because they'd be labeled a quote unquote bigot. Because Silver, again, is a part of a particular race of people. And he openly supports the LGBTQ plus community in a league of presumably mostly heterosexual men. And just one more example of the craziness of this whole, like I said, the woke bubble that Adam Silver has built around himself that leaves him above criticism. The Myers-Leonard situation. Y'all remember that back in 2020 in the bubble? Myers-Leonard was streaming. He was playing some video game. And he ended up calling someone a derogatory term that starts with a K that is directed normally towards Jewish people. And he was, when I say this dude was so swiftly dealt with, he was on the Miami Heat at the time. He went to the finals, so people knew who he was because he was just in the finals. So I think he was waived or something. The Heat got rid of his contract. He was sent to Oklahoma City. Got no playing time in Oklahoma City. And now, where is Myers-Leonard now? He's no longer in the NBA. That quickly. That swiftly. That quickly. That directly. That simple. But why in a league, again, where at least 70% of your players are quote-unquote black, you can't get this owner up out of here? That's using the N-word. He using the N-word. It's coming out of his mouth like water. You can't do that to him, but Myers-Leonard, like the irony behind that just shows you the esteem that the quote-unquote black man has in this society. We looked at as simply security guards and minstrels, people to draw you money. But when we wronged, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the irony behind that. But that's all I have to say in this video. I think I did pretty well, man. Again, if y'all want to refresh yourselves on this whole Robert Sarver suspension, slap on the wrist situation, I will have that article in the description below. I'm going to have an article about LeBron James responding and Chris Paul responding in the description as well, excuse me. And just let me know what y'all think. Is Adam Silver the worst commissioner in sports history? Has he really added something good to the league? If so, let me know in the comments. What effect will his decisions have on the future generations of players and viewers? Because we already see it. I just explained it to y'all throughout this video. Let me know, man. Like this video. Comment at the beginning, middle, and end. Subscribe if you're new. And of course, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop. If there's a particular topic you want me to speak on, hit that link in the pinned comment section below and donate to the Regg Man. Again, I apologize for this picture. It's a little disturbing.